Kevin, we've been talking to some of the players, some who are here for the first time, some here many times. How important is it for young players to get this opportunity in a prospect challenge heading into a main camp?
Well, I think it's always important. I think it actually starts in development camp in July where they get a chance. Just, there's part of it is to get a lay of the land, get to know people's names, get to know your way around the locker room a little bit. And we had a couple days here in Newark to acclimate, and now we head to Buffalo as a team, and things got to come together pretty quick. So we're not going to overcomplicate things. Let them go out and show their strengths, and like all of us, you know what? It makes summers are great, but there's long, and I think all of a sudden that calendar hits September and everybody's going, okay, here it is, and get excited. And certainly I think there's a level of enthusiasm both on and off the ice.
When you look at a tournament like this, how much is it a balance of team results versus players showing their best, and where do you kind of look at that as a coach?
Well, it's a mixture of both. It really is. I think, players are excited because I think to a man they look good. They look like they've been working out. They have different options at home as far as improving their game, and now it gets to show on the ice. So the players are prepared. I think they have a mindset that, you know what, it's a chance at rookie camp to make an impression. You get to hey, I'm guilty. I get to main camp, and I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to concentrate a little bit on certain players, and all of a sudden I see that here shit coming down the ice, and I go, oh, boy. And your eye gets focused on that a little bit. So, I think it's a chance for our players to get eyes on them, and it's not only from our organization. There's scouts from every team will be at this tournament, so it's a good chance for them to get a viewing and to go out and perform.
You had Shimon Nemec all last season. Obviously, so much was new to him. Yeah. How have you seen him grow, develop, adjust? And particularly, he's really been a lot better at his English language, and I'm sure that really helps.
Well, it is, and in years past, I think heading into rookie camps, we've done a little bit of videos to kind of not pump up videos, but just to give a perspective of who recently has played in these camps, and we didn't do that this year. We gave the opportunity of Graeme Clarke to share his experiences, do that, and Simon Nemec shared his experiences, as did Isaac Poulter. So I think there's a little bit more impact, and Simon was a guy I was a little bit, okay, he's going to get up and speak, but he was all in, he was excited about it, and he did a fabulous job.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Shimon getting up and speaking, his English much improved, and he talked about just feeling more comfortable with his English and speaking. I think sometimes we forget that these are just kids, an 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid coming over, doesn't know the language. How have you seen him grow off the ice as well as just getting more comfortable around the team, around the players, around the coaches, all these people?
Well, you just watch around the locker room and you see that he's gravitating to players that may be their first time here, and that's pretty neat to see when you have somebody that is 19 years old and has taken a leadership role within the locker room already. He's going to wear a letter for us this weekend, and I think that's not by coincidence or trying to give him a push. That's one of those things that's deserved. So I think he's making great transitions off the ice, and his game on the ice will speak for itself.
Do you think he makes the roster, makes the NHL roster?
I think he's going to enjoy the next 3 weeks of coming in and competing. I think he's a proud kid that feels like he belongs, and it's going to be up to him to show that he can. So I'm excited to see it in action. He's the kind of guys that I get juice in the game, right? You get to watch these kids when they're 18 and 19, and all of a sudden you get to see where they're at, where they're 30, and whether it happens in the first month during this season or what have you, I look forward to watching the next 10, 15 years.
What reports have you gotten back on Holtz and his training this summer and how that's going?
Oh, I see him out there. He was dragging chains out in the rink there today working out, and he had Timo Meyer was with him and Jesper Bratt. The three of them were doing exercises out there. And all I can say, I think you can hear a lot of things, but you just see, and I saw just watched a little bit of their practice yesterday, and I think Holtzy's ready to go.
Do you know what's the next step for Graeme Clarke right now?
Oh, Graeme is excited. I'm excited for him. I think there's a real upside to his level of where he's going to play. And there's another guy that I think will come in and just put a stamp on the way he feels that he can help within the organization. And again, it's the same case with all these guys. You just don't know when it's going to happen. But I'm all in on believing that he's going to really do a great job no matter where he is this year.
If he were to make the NHL club, it'd obviously be in a little bit of a different role than he had in Utica last year. So what do you hope to see, and what do you expect to see from the next couple weeks to show that he can, be a well-rounded player?
We're talking Graeme?
Clarke, yeah.
Well, I always laugh because when I walk into the rink in Utica, there's a picture of Gauthier and AJ Greer and Graeme, and it's on the wall, and they're celebrating a goal, and it looks like Graeme looks like he's on the wrong side of the glass. He should be on the other side, like he looks like a little kid fan, right? And that's 2 years ago, and now I look at him, and he looks like a man, and I see him out there shooting the puck and the way he's playing, and he's another guy that's going to wear a letter for us this year because just the upside and where his career is headed is something that we're really excited about, and that's part of the Devils organizational template is we have to produce from within, and you take a guy like Jesper that was a 6th-round pick,
yep,
and goes on to be a huge contributor. So these are the players that hard to predict that when a kid's 18, but to see where he is right now, we're excited for him.
For Graeme, the offense was pretty obvious. How was the defensive game come around the last couple of years?
It's really taken great steps, and I think he had some injuries my first year in Utica, and showed his skill set. He came back from the injury, and I think he'd be the first to agree that things didn't go well for him for the last half of the year. And I think he made a commitment like he does every summer, and he came in last year and he felt like he really wanted to contribute, and he certainly did that. He led our team in scoring. He was a difference maker in a lot of ways on the offensive side. So I think the natural transition is he's proven himself at that level. We're going to keep sticking him in there. I plan on using him on the penalty kill and giving him those opportunities to expand his role and expand his game for that opportunity that he may get when it happens. Then he gets that opportunity in the NHL that he becomes the well-rounded player he needs to be.
What kind of summer did Akira Schmidt have from the 2 spaceman reports you've gotten? And
well,
how ready do you think he is?
I had a good chat with Akira this morning, and he spent a lot of it in Long Island. Went home for a little stretch, a couple days in Utica. He's been doing some traveling, but he's been here 2 weeks, working out every day with our goaltending team, and I think his game spoke for itself there last year, and he's has not changed from 2 years ago when he came in right out of the USHL and was establishing himself as a pro and got thrown into the NHL, and I think that composure and that hey, he's a pretty chill guy, right? And I don't think that's changed at all, and I don't think he's a guy that the temperature goes up and down. I think he's pretty steady, and I think that shows in his game.
How different is it to come into a camp like this in a second year when you kind of know North America a little better? Is it easier?
I think it's more easier for me because last year was so hard for me because I didn't know many guys here. I didn't know coaches and all the stuff, but now I know many guys here, and I think it's easier for me.
What was the thing you enjoyed most last season about sort of learning what it is to be in the organization and also just playing over here?
I think I enjoyed every game on the ice, every practice, every game, and sometimes it was hard, but sometimes it was great, and in overall it was a great season for me.
Where did you see your game grow, you think?
I think my game grew in defensive zone and this stuff, and I score many goals. Year before I scored just 1 or 2, and last season I scored 12 goals in regular season. It was great.
For you, is this a camp like this about trying to make a push for the NHL roster, show them what you have, knowing that there is opportunity there this year?
Yeah, that's my goal. I'll try to make a team, and yeah, it's good. It's good to play a couple games before main camp, and yeah, it's good. It's good to play a couple games.
Why the change to 17?
Yeah, because I like 7, but Doug has 7, and yeah, 17 is more like 7 than 5.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
That's very good math.
Shimon, how prepared do you feel for the challenge of making this roster? Obviously, knowing kind of the battle coming into camp.
Yeah, I think I had a really good summer training, and yeah, I think I'm ready to fight for my spot and try and make a team.
With a year under your belt, obviously in North America, what do you feel like you learned about kind of this region, this team, and what shocked you, I guess, about moving to North America?
Yeah, like it's completely different hockey because the ice is smaller than in Europe, and it's different hockey. But I like it more here than in Europe now.
What do you do to...
Graeme, I was just talking to Dan McKinnon before, and he said, you're one of those players who really has an opportunity here to make a push. When you hear that from a GM and AGM, what does that mean to you, and where do you kind of see where you are right now in your development?
Yeah, I think it's probably the most excited I've been to come to a Devils camp where, I have those expectations for myself where I want to make the team, I want to make a push, and I think there's a shot for me if I do the right thing. So I think it's an opportunity for me, this rookie tournament, to just start it off on the right foot and kind of carry it in. I know it's going to be tough, but that's what I want to do, and I think I have a chance if I just do the right things.
What does that push look like for you when you think of your game?
Yeah, I got to show that I can be a well-rounded player. If that's third, fourth line role to start, like whatever I can do to get on the team and go from there. I think just playing the right way and getting the trust of the coaching staff. I think that's what I talked to like at my year-end meeting with the coaches and everything, was just kind of gaining the trust of Lindy or anyone else, just knowing that I can be on the ice. So just doing that kind of stuff and go from there.
How much is your defensive game developed? Obviously, a lot of the NHL stuff and being the third, fourth line guys is defensive responsibilities. How much is that part of your game grown?
Yeah, I think just in the summer, just trying to focus on those things, if it's wall work or defensive zone positioning or anything like that, where you try and do game situation stuff in the summer as much as you can. And then obviously I think that's why this tournament's kind of beneficial for me, just in the sense of getting those reps early on and then taking it into main camp. So it should be good.
How do you work on that in the summer? I mean, what drills can you do with, like, well, I mean, assuming you're not, like, banging each other around too much. You don't want to get injured, but,
Yeah. We got a good summer league in Ottawa in the summer, so we try and do that kind of stuff. And then if it's just small area games like 3-on-3, 2-on-2, or stuff like that where, you're getting a couple bangs here and there on the boards. And just, with, I think in the NHL, there's so much pressure on you all the time. It's so fast. So just learning to play with pace and stuff like that. So it's good.
You just said it, but how beneficial is this tournament, not just the reps, but just getting kind of your feet going so that you hit training camp with kind of some games on your belt?
Yeah, I think that's the whole point of the tournament is just, we're all young guys and we all just kind of coming off a summer where we either got stronger, did different things, so now it's kind of put it to the test in a real game. So I think we worked on system stuff today, and then to kind of put that to work tomorrow and through the weekend is going to be good.
Do you notice that game one? Like, step on the ice, feel stronger, feel lighter because it's like real competition.
Yeah. I think just being in this tournament in the past years, I think it's 100 miles an hour for everyone right in the first couple shifts, just because everyone's trying to prove themselves and do something right off the bat, and then it kind of settles in after that. So yeah, you definitely notice the difference after the summer, and I think everyone wants to just kind of show their best self.
Chase, another opportunity here to sort of get in on the challenge, and you have your junior career behind you. What is it does it feel any different?
Yeah, it's a lot of excitement for me. It's a new chapter of my life going into pro, and just kind of the same mindset going into things. I feel like I've worked a lot with the management of what they expect from me and what kind of role they want me to play, and now it's just kind of up to me. Junior's over. I've had the opportunity to play the way that I want to, but now it's my livelihood. It really is a job, and I'm just going to try to do everything in my power to get to the NHL as fast as possible.
When you say that they've kind of talked to you where they see you, what they want, what are some of those things, if you can share?
I think one of the things is being an energy guy, just kind of being relentless on the puck, being able to fly up and down the ice and get into battles and be first touches all the time. And I think it's one of the things I'm going to be striving for. And, one of the things that I felt like I lacked a little bit in junior was the offensive upside. And looking back, that's, again, not the role that they wanted me to do to go on a championship team. It wasn't to score all the goals and do things like that. But that's something just personally I'd like to improve a little bit on, is just hanging on to the puck, making plays, and doing things that way. But majority is the play without the puck and being a little bit of an energizer bunny.
And when you were here for Dev Camp, obviously had to stay off the ice. How are you health-wise? How's your nose and all that stuff? And how are you feeling?
Sniffer's working real good now. It's feels really good sleeping and stuff now. That just don't have that tossing and turning I used to have. I could only lay in one position to get air going in my nose and stuff. Is ridiculous. So all that's healthy. That's in the past, and feeling really good.
In what way do you take this Prospects Challenge? Obviously, it's 3 games, weird times, not a ton of, rhythm and flow. What do you take as a player from this? Is it almost like a warm-up to main camp?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's almost like it's a stepping stone. If there's an option that you could have a chance to come back and play another tournament before main camp, I'd almost maybe want to do it again. I think it's kind of nice to have a little bit of games under your belt before you go into the camp with all the NHL guys. So, there's a little bit of expectation, coming in. I'm a returning player here now, so I hope to make more of an impact at this tournament, and that's something I look forward to doing. Awesome.